Okay, let's talk about the joint venture agreement. I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm going to give you a quick overview now, and if you'd like some more information about it in greater detail, there'll be a link below this or at the bottom of the page for more information about the joint venture agreement. Prior to that, let's just discuss what the deal is for the investors, whether they're joint venturers or limited liability investors. Typically, when you're raising money for a Broadway show, an off-Broadway show, the deal is that the investors get all of their money back from the operating profits of the show. So a show costs, say a show costs $50,000 a week to run. I'm talking about a commercial production now, not the festival or developmental production that this is designed for. But you're preparing for that, and that's what the investor is eventually going to look to get their money back and make a profit from. So that's the important deal here. That deal for the commercial production is a 50-50 deal. Basically, the investors are putting up 50% of the money. The investors are putting up 100% of the money for 50% of the profits. The producer is putting up the play and their work and their expertise for 50% of the profits. So the operating profits come in. It's $50,000 a week is the cost to run the show. Everything over $50,000 comes back to the production, and that profit goes to pay back the investors. Once the investors have gotten all of their money back, they have, quote, recouped. That's what we call it in the theater, recouped. Okay? They've recouped their investment, and now that weekly money that comes in that's above the expenses, the weekly operating profit, represents net profits. And that net profit is distributed half to the investors and half to the producers. Now, this joint venture agreement is going to describe what the partners, not the limited partners, not the limited liability investors, but the general partners, the managing members, the producers, how are they going to share their 50% of the profits? They're also going to be getting a royalty as the show is going on. How are they going to share the royalty? What's their billing going to be? Who's coming first? Who's coming second? How are you going to make decisions? What happens if there's a tie? Should it all be unanimous? Should it be a majority? If there is a tie, who breaks the tie? Sometimes the general manager is chosen to break the tie if it's a business decision. If it's an artistic decision, sometimes it's deferred to the director. But not always. And so those are decisions you're going to need to make. In the next video, the second part of the joint venture agreement, I'm going to explain to you in more detail all of the specifics on each one of those clauses in that agreement. See you next time.